Hey everybody, it's Raznak coming to you from Estancia Lapacho for our second episode. Really come up with a title for the series yet. I'm thinking, I don't know, Kings of Sugarcane. I'm not quite sure, but anywho, down here at the local dock offices, taking care of some work, filing some paperwork, putting in some orders from some stuff. It's been a few days since we've been here. Things have been kind of slow. We only have the one field growing, so things have been fairly slow. Been getting to know my place around town. Met a few people. It's like this guy had a problem parking his car. Wonder if he drives for Giants. I wonder if all these guys drive for Giants. Uh-oh. Hey, let's jump the fence here. So, I've met some locals. Got to know the area. Still staying at the hotel. I really haven't found any place else to stay at the moment. Not really a whole lot of housing options. So I've been staying at the hotel. Oh, I said I had to talk to the local government officials. They said I really need to do... They've been watching my speed here, so drop that to kilometers per hour. If I'm a little stuffy, I'm sorry. It's a little congested today for some reason. So, anywho, let's run over. We got the business done at the dock. Let's run over to our factory here and see what's going on. See if we can get any work done. Also lined up a side job. One of the locals was needing some help on their farm and doing some harvesting. So took that job to see if I can make a little extra income while we're waiting on our sugarcane harvest to go in. There's really not a whole lot to do at the factory. Oh, I'm speeding a little. I think the speed limit's 60. Let's try not to get in trouble here, right? Took some trips down some side roads, got to see the country. It's beautiful, beautiful country. Person here, feeling the 60, but they like to drive slow, don't they? I hope everybody's doing well. This is my third video I've ever made. I'm hoping to improve upon my video skills. I'm going to try to do less camera movement. I noticed that in my last video. I was kind of like a crazy camera person all over the place. So we're going to do less shifting the camera. Try to stay in one spot at a time. So I've done some research about how the sugarcane process works. It's very interesting. Recommend you guys get on Google and check that out. A lot of chemistry involved. Not very good for a guy who didn't do well in chemistry. Oh, looks like I see some green in the field there. Let's go take a look. What do you guys say? Take a look at the green in the field here. Well, I think that looks right. I mean, I don't know anything about sugarcane, but I think that looks okay. I don't see any weeds in there. It looks like we could do some fertilizing. Pretty sure I have a fertilizer there, so let's jump in there and do some fertilizing. Grab this one with narrows here. This is Valtra A104. Let's get this stuff put up here. Put it here in our pile of goodies. Better back up a little bit. I don't think we need the weight. Not leave it out here in the middle of nowhere, right? Don't think we need the weight, so I'm gonna try to talk clear, less mumbling. I have a tendency to mumble. My wife tells me that. Everybody tells me that, but Raz, quit mumbling. Run over here and grab our fertilizer spreader. Think about putting some fertilizer on the sugar cane. Just the in-cab route. Got the Coon Axis. Got some fertilizer in there. See what we can get done. Wanted to thank everybody for all their kind words and support. It's been great. I really appreciate it. Any advice is always taken. I'm always open for advice. I'm a lifetime learner, so that's what I'm trying to do. I plan on helping my son. We're going to edit his first video tonight, and if you're on Discord, I would post a link for that if you would like to see what an 11-year-old has come up with. Zoom way out so we can... Kind of really hard to see what we're doing here. Wasting fertilizer, I know. But it's really hard to... There we go. That's a better way. Really hard to see the ground transition with some of these textures, I've noticed. And then with weeds, I know, man, there's like soybeans, it's really hard to see the weeds in. Corn, you can't see the weeds because corn's too tall. I haven't seen any weeds pop up yet in the sugarcane, so I'm not quite sure how that works. I did learn that sugarcane will not wither. Doesn't matter what you do, sugarcane will not wither. I was reading that in the info menu earlier. As for other crops, I'm not quite sure how that works, so let's just leave that in the one view. We'll get this knocked out real quick and get on with the rest of our work for the day. Zoom in a little bit more. Just really trying to see this left side more than anything. Right side will take care of itself. Harvesting this stuff is gonna be a long job. I think the harvester is just 1 meter, so we're talking single row. Some of the folks in Discord have suggested that I use narrow wheels, so I'll have to do that. I haven't talked to the bosses much. I've looked at some of the balance sheets. We're in quite a bit of debt here. We're looking at about 500,000 owed to the bank still. Interest payments are daily over $4,000. So I'm really hoping that we can get some money in and turn this thing profitable. If not, you might have to look at other forms of income. It is really hard to see. Actually, not seeing any change here. This is already fully fertilized over here. I don't know how it would be. Let's check the map and see real quick. Let's see, where are we at? Over on 16. Yep. Looks like it's already all fertilized over here. No. I'm pretty sure that said 60% when I looked at it in the field view. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. Well, we'll go put our fertilizer up and see what else the day has to offer. Get this parked under the shed here. Put the tractor back. Like I said, I've lined up some side work. The sugarcane part's pretty slow, so I've lined up some side work here to see what else we can get into. Yeah, well, I was doing some research on the whole sugar refinery process. I call them a sugar factory, but they're actually called sugar refineries. Didn't know that. Learn something new every day on the job. Like I said, give me corn and soybeans, and I might know what I'm doing. You send me down here to South America to do sugarcane, I'm gonna be learning. So, my friend I met at the local eatery said that she had a harvester and stuff set up over field 31, and that she would pay pretty well to take that harvest in. Apparently they're having a tough time finding workers in the area. Some stuff there. That must be field 31. Yep, looks like it. Head across here. Get to drive through the jungle, but I really don't see a way in here. Yeah, the bushes are forgiving. They're like kids, they just bounce right back. Let's see, we got the crampy trailer. Truck here. Nice looking truck. Now you gotta have cup holders. I really would like to meet the man who invented the cup holder, or woman, or child. I don't know who it was that did it, but they've changed the life of people. I bet you there was like meetings at the car manufacturers. There's some guys like they're like, "Oh, we need to put something in our vehicles." And the guy's like, "Well, how about a place to put our cups?" "Oh, we don't need a cup holder." I'm sure they said that about everything. Seatbelts. What do you need seatbelts for? I'm sure all that stuff took place. But here we are inside the New Holland. New Holland CR 1090. Well, she's got the nice stuff. Really nice stuff. Anywho. Oh, wrong button there. Let's fire this bad boy up and see what kind of damage we can do. Oh, I keep wanting to mess with the header here. Beautiful looking machine. Must have set her back some money. Yeah, I bet you she's got it on lease. I don't think about it. She did say no straw. She said that they did not need any straw, so we'll drop that off and get to work here. I'll cut a couple rows here at the end. I've been looking for a place to live here other than the hotel. The hotel's nice, but it's like any hotel. After a while, you're like, I really could use my own place. Although it's not like your American hotels. Very nice, very quaint. Really homey. Stayed in a lot of hotels in the United States, and most of them are pretty cookie cutter boxes with beds. I mean, although you are just usually paying for a place to sleep. Some of the nicer suites and stuff are okay. I'm rambling and mumbling again, so please ignore me. I sent Mr. Rutherford an email, hoping to get an answer back. I wanted to get the, kind of get the finances from the previous owner, how much they spent to seed, how much they spent to put the sugar cane in the ground. I really want to figure out cost versus yield, and share that with you, so we can really find out whether this sugar cane can turn a profit. There are whispers that it's very hard to make money in sugarcane, so we're gonna find out the truth in that matter. Bringing in the wheat here. This is a pretty decent sized field of wheat. I think the job pays well over $5,000. It's like pretty impressed. Pretty impressed. Okay, I'm doing it again. Bit moving the camera, Raz. I have a tendency to do that. I'm so used to playing single player that I do that. So, but I've been looking at some equipment. Looking at this bad boy here. This multi-row harvester. That thing's big and beautiful. Look at that. Look at that price tag. $349,000. I mean, right now in the bank we have $170,000 right now. And we still haven't harvested anything, haven't started processing anything. Really don't want to dig into our savings until we start getting some income rolling in. I did look into we can supplement. We don't have to do just sugarcane. Do sugar beets. Maybe we can look into that. I said I've been really watching the local cotton market, and I think that may be something that's worth getting into and worth trying out. Hoping, at least. I'm hoping that'll be worth checking out. Set our cruise control. What a great invention, cruise control. So apparently there's a problem with the GPS signal here. We have a real hard time getting one. That's why I can't get any GPS on any of the vehicles. I'm hoping that gets fixed soon. Hoping that we can get that up and running. I really think that would help the area and their efficiency. It would definitely help me in keeping a straight line. I don't know about you other farmers out there, but really like just to tap my button and lock in my course. Yielding pretty nice off this field. Nice. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, this is kind of ground collision. These headers on some of these harvesters. It's like a little drag to them. A little though. Let's hope we can get around here to close to our truck. I think we are about full. I'm gonna squeeze every bit into this. So 14,500 liters. Get our pipe out. This is only half fertilized too. Oh, hey birdies. To me, the truck looked a lot closer than it is. Thank goodness I've been doing my cardio. Sprint over here to this truck. Pull the cover back. There we go. Gotta love those Insta covers. Technology, right? Get offloaded and get to work here. As we get lined up, we'll take a look in the garage at some other stuff that I'm hoping to purchase. We talked about the sugarcane harvester. That's probably a little bit away. While that's unloading here, we'll look at I said that's the only self-propelled one. I talked to the guys at the dock. That's all they can get shipped in here right now. There may be something in the future. We'll see what happens. As for the sugarcane technology, right now we have the 2-row billet planter, and again that's kind of the top of the notch here in the area that we can get. We have a couple single rows. If we get some hired help, we may invest in other ones. Right now, that's our sugarcane harvester right there. SWT, what is that? Lizard brand SWT7, 1 meter. So it's going to be a painfully slow process there. We have a nice 12,000 liters of sugarcane, which I'm not sure what the yield's going to be. So I'm really interested. Like I said, I emailed Mr. Rutherford to find out how much it took to plant the field. I'm going to say probably well over 30,000 liters to plant that field 16. So we'll see what happens. So, but the nice thing is we have some options for upgrade here to buy some other sugarcane trailers. Not to mention we can get into some pretty heavy hauling equipment here. Some of the nice big stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. Forward to see what happens there. As for, like I said, cotton technology, the big case. Again, that's the only thing we have available right now. But in the future, that may change. We'll see what happens. Let's get back to work here. Get this wheat field knocked out. Get a paycheck. Send it back to the wife and kids. It's like, hey, I made a little bonus down here. So it is almost Christmas time. Everybody doing well for Christmas. Mr. Rutherford takes care of us during Christmas. We usually get a ham. It's a traditional gift. I mean, it is a multi-million-dollar agriculture company, so the ham seems to be fitting. Not sure, but one year we had the I think it was the Jelly of the Month Club. That was words of a great movie character. That's just the gift that keeps on giving all year long. That is. Quit messing with our camera. This is my first time using, ever driving a TR1090. Most of the time I go with the case brand, Blackbird. I like the case brand stuff. I haven't really got into any of the John Deere stuff, although I may look into trying some. Maybe we can get some demo hours on that here in the future. Cloudy and overcast. Good. I really like it. So far, really enjoying my time down here. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me and watching me struggle through this endeavor of not knowing how to do sugarcane. So let's look at the map real quick. let's talk about some planning. I'm all about planning. So right now we own field 16 and the land surrounding field 16, although I think we've kind of maximized our potential for maybe able to plow in a little bit more, but there really isn't a whole lot. This south here isn't really usable. I would really like, just for ease of use, to get this field 17 purchased. I really think that's a good option. Maybe able to tie the two fields in together and make one big one, or we can leave the break in it so we don't feel like we're driving endlessly for days. But it looks like $348,000 for the next improvement. So we're gonna need some money. We're really gonna need some money. Said home office kind of set up. We got a little money in the bank. We got some equipment to work with. I've been put with the task of making some money, so that's what I'm gonna do. Set my sights on something and do it. Hopefully the next time you see me, we'll be maybe harvesting some sugar cane. Not quite sure yet. We may be weeding. I don't know. Don't really know that process too well when it comes to sugar cane. I don't know if there's enough room for the weeds to come up, or something we don't worry about. In my research in my hotel room the other night, apparently there's been in the history there's been quite a few sugarcane factory explosions. Quite a few sugarcane factory explosions. So I'm really gonna have to crack down on the safety measures there at the factory. I really don't want that to happen. I'd lose my job, I think, if that happened. But more importantly, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, so that we can have sweet stuff, right? Really worth it. Apparently, it happens. I guess similar to grain towers, or I guess any of your carbohydrates or your starches. So when that stuff gets in a dust form, and you get static electricity, it can spark, and each one of the individual particles can ignite. When they do, it causes a pretty decent explosion. Not to mention there are quite a few chemicals involved in the refining process, so I'm really trying to stay safe. Keep from blowing some stuff up. We don't want any of those hold my beer moments, right? Been watching a lot of YouTube here in my free time. Outside of eating, grabbing a beverage every now and then, and fishing, there's really not a whole lot of stuff to do here. Grab me a UTV once I get the money, and drive around in some of the trails here. See if I can do a little off-road. It's through here. So out of character moment, I don't know if anyone's seeing those little shader issues with the crops. Again, I don't know if that is my computer or if it's just a farm sim issue in general. Quite sure. I think I am going to do some new crop textures. Interested in installing those and seeing what that can bring to the game. I know LS Modding Company has a few of those some different crop textures. I'd really like to put those in and see how that works. And then I've seen some others out there, but I know the folks that usually the stuff from LS Modding Company is really, really well done. All you viewers, please be careful of your mod sites. This would be a really good time for people to slip in some malicious coding into things with people downloading mods. Really excited about new stuff, so be real careful where you get your stuff from. Make sure it's from a trusted source. Best way to do it is to get it directly from the author, although you still may have the chance of getting burned there. But just be careful. I don't want anyone to ruin their computers. Public service announcement. That's what that was. It was a public service announcement to the viewers at home, not to ruin. Up here. So, when I first started my farming career, really wasn't a fan of the tracked vehicles at first, but now I really like them. They have a really nice turning radius. They turn on a dime. They're very responsive, and kind of happy with them. Back at home, we were driving a few of the John Deere tracks around. Those are really nice tractors. I've seen some of the Agco stuff, the Fendt and the Challenger tracks. We might give. I'd love to build up the operation here at home where we can use some of that bigger stuff. I really would. Definitely would do that. Look at our map again. Yep, so it looks like field 17 is going to be our best option. That's what we're going to aim for. It'll be our next purchase. To get there is we'll focus on the sugarcane. In my free time, I'll be taking quite a few jobs, putting in some contract work under the Blackbird banner. They can get some service fees popped up. Maybe come into some crop sharing deals with some of the local farmers. Mr. Rutherford, he's a heck of a businessman, so you never know what kind of deals he may come up with. The tendency to gamble, though, so nervous. A previous adventure of ours, he lost quite a bit of the company's money on a bad investment. Something with canned air. I'm not quite sure how that worked. Didn't work out too well for my brother. Train in the background. Keep on. I find this relaxing. I always find this relaxing. There's something about jumping in a harvester and getting the work done. Seeing your hopper fill up. Always was such a pleasure to see that stuff fill up in there. Look around the cab. Kinds of a buddy seat. Find us a buddy to ride with us someday. The kids could come down and visit. Jump in the harvester with Dad. We'll see what happens. see. Comments below. Why don't we if you want to tell me what your favorite piece of equipment is in Farm Sim 19. It is your love driving, or love using, love pulling. Maybe you have a favorite implement. I kind of have a couple of favorites right now. I really love the little Mahindra. That thing is a blast to drive around. 60 miles an hour in that little thing. Really enjoy it, and I love the old Lizard pickup truck because of the horn. And I'm not going to play the horn. I'm afraid that it might be a copyrighted sound, so we'll stay away from the horn. But if you get a chance, jump in that Lizard, fire up the horn. Maybe jump off a cliff with it, fire up the horn. Channel your inner Dukes of Hazzard. See what happens. It's unloaded. Once we get a full load here, we'll take it to the sell point. I think we'll call it quits here today. We'll go grab us some lunch. Oh. Monster of a field, though, that's for sure. What kind of money this costs? Hey, look at that. We got a fancy little gadget. $582,000. Tell you what, the property prices down here aren't suffering one bit. I mean, I think I could find better deals in the States for agricultural land. I gotta say, my favorite, I love the Mahindra. I love the little truck. Love the shop menu. Tractor wise, probably most I've drove are these Staras. I really enjoy those. Can't go wrong with the old case. What's we got here? Tractor. If you haven't noticed, one of my favorite features of at Farm Sim 19, you can get in the menu and your vehicle doesn't stop. Oh, it's amazing. Really nothing here jumps out at me. It's like, oh, I gotta have it. Jaunters are pretty, but we're gonna make the jaunt pretty. My favorite big tractor I've drove so far is this this big Fent right here, the 1100. Oh, it sounds amazing. It's got this roady, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a big machine, and you know it kind of sound. Harvester. Say we're driving our 1090 now. Don't have any favorites there. Looking forward to see what else shows up in the shop eventually. Looking forward to see what the local agricultural supply company brings in. Coming up with new stuff all the time, so I'd like to see what kind of sugarcane technology shows up on the market. Again, that's something I don't know very well. Definitely would like to use. Finish this last pass here. We'll load up the truck, head to the drop-off point. Call call it a quits for the day. Take us a little break, grab some lunch, come back and finish up the field real quick. Tons left to do, but isn't too much left to do. I love how the little, I mean, you can't even tell there's a sugar refinery back there. I love how they tucked that in back behind the hill there. Probably they probably got it on the cheap. Not a whole lot to do with that property over there other than build something on, carve out the hill and build something on. If you've noticed the local area, there's like a little plateau. Unload and I'll show it to you on the map. The plateau is really a nice little area. Fortunately, there's no road up to the top of it. Nothing I've found yet. Like I said, I haven't done tons of it venturing. This plateau area. Although this road looks like it goes up. That's a rail station. We can go up from the rail station. Let's see. That big chunk of land's for sale. Ooh. Call this the Warren Buffett at $1.7 million. That's pretty spendy. Some other big chunks. That's the biggest one. By the town. I don't know how they'd feel about someone owning their town. I don't know. I don't know how you would feel about someone owning their town. This little piece up front's 277. I'm not quite sure. That's a lot of hilly area, so I'm not quite sure if that's very usable. And this along the river. Yeah, so we have a lot of opportunity. There's this little chunk here. It's so far away from our operation, though. It's just not really feasible time. So, ew. Tell you what, let's take the load we have. Drop our cover on. Let's see, where are we going? Transport company. Oh, so that's probably the best way to go about this is we'll follow the train tracks up to this storage silo and go about it that way. Drop this load off, run into town, grab some lunch. Looks like I'm gonna have to call her and have her send a train car. If I'm looking right, that's yeah, we'll have to do send a load by train. Call the owner of the field, let her know that we've put everything here in the storage silo, take care of the train transportation from there. Let that unload. Let that unload. Finish up the field later. I'll take care of all that. Thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out. And I hope the quality is a little better. I hope I have a little less camera movement. And I hope you're having fun like I am. I really enjoy doing this. And again, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.